εις το όνομα του Πατρός και του Υιού και του Αγίου Πνεύματος. Αμήν. Please be seated. Καλημέρα σας. Good morning. The Lord has said in the Gospel of John, "My command is this, to love one another, as I have loved you. Greater love has no one than this, to lay down your life for your friends. You are my friends, if you do what I command. I no longer call you servants, because a servant does not know his master's will. Instead, I have called you friends, for everything that I learned from my Father, I have made known to you. You are my friends." You. The creator of the universe, the master, the Pantokrator, he who governs the oceans, the tides, the planets, the suns, the formation of galaxies and universes. That is your friend. I want you to contemplate that. Let that sink to the very bottom of your soul. The Lord is your compatriot, is the one who stands next to you, the one who lifts you when you are low, he who rebukes you when you do wrong, who keeps you accountable in mutual love and respect. Think on what this means, my brothers and sisters. If we really believe that, if we believe God is our ally, is our closest advisor, someone that we trust, someone that we depend on, what can stand against us? What place can we go to the pits of hell, to the darkest recesses of the underworld, of pain and tragedy and sorrow and warfare and destruction and loss? We can go to those places without fear, without that knowledge and knowing that the Lord will be with us. You see, so many of us imagine the Lord as a despotic king, a ruler who sits on his throne from on high, judging all his little servants, his little minions. That in order to be a good servant, we must be prostrated on the ground, face down, unquestioning. This is a model. This is an idea, a creation of God that has formed over the last 2 centuries. God as the king. How many times have we said, "O Vasilevs ton uranon," the king of the heavens? But what does this bring with it? Think about it. Are you on equal terms with the king? No. The king is the king, and we are the peasants. We are the workers. We are the lowly ones who must supplicate and who must beg for the king to come down from his throne and give us a morsel, give us a little piece, right? And so think of how this model, this idea of something that is uncontainable, inconceivable. And so Christ gives us another glimpse into who God is as a father, but in the gospel today, most especially as a friend. Not as someone who lords over us with power and authority as a despotic ruler might, but as a kind soul, as someone who can feel your pain, who knows the suffering of all his people, like the shepherd who guards and protects his flock. And so in our lives, how valuable are those friends around us? Think of those people that you could not be here without. Those valuable aides, your accomplices, your co-workers, those maybe few trusted, good, loyal friends. How valuable they are. How important it is for us to have a friend. The opposite of friendship is loneliness, right? And we know that loneliness can kill. It is more dangerous than disease and sickness and poverty. Loneliness has shown to devastate and destroy lives. If you are alone, it is a terrible place to be, right? And I'm sure we can all think of someone who maybe has been in that place, who maybe needs a friend, who needs someone to simply call and say, "Hey, how are you? Are things okay? Do you need anything?" That simple action of showing compassion and kindness. But friendship points to a much deeper mystery. The fact there is no I without you. The two go together. Me and you. This and that. I wouldn't know who I am unless I have relation with you, right? Can you be an island completely alone? Who would you be? With no one. Think about it. If you had 0 people in your lives, and you were the only one on a deserted island, like Tom Hanks, who would you be? How would you know what kind of person you are? What makes you happy? What makes you sad? What makes you tick? And so this back and forth, this friendship, this relationship is integral to our very existence, my brothers and sisters. The relationship of separate things being one member and one body. And so when Christ says, "You are my friends, and as the Father loves me, so I love you. And as I die for my friends, I ask you to die for your friends." And so, in our journey, my brothers and sisters, together, on our Lenten path that we go forward as we fast and pray and attend our services, we cannot neglect that phone call. That moment that you take out of your day to think of another, to reach out to someone who might need a friend. Because as we read in the gospel today, it wasn't the paralytic's reason for being healed. It was his friend's faith that lifted him. It was his friends who cut a hole in the rooftop and let him down. Without his friends, that man would have been paralyzed the rest of his life. And so let us allow others to carry us. And if that isn't enough, then we can carry each other. Amen.